Well, it's time to weigh in because it's Transformation Tuesday. Welcome back, you guys, and a huge welcome to you if you are new here today. I am Deena, and you have landed at DeeVine DeeZine, and you've landed here on a pretty good day because it is time for me to step on the scale and see how much I weigh. Well, yeah, it's that time again, you guys. It is time to face the music and see how I have done this week. If you were following along on my journey a couple years ago, then obviously you know that I have taken quite a bit of time off from the healthy eating. And I decided a few weeks ago that I was going to get back to it. If you missed that story, then you're going to want to go back and take a look at it. I'm going to pin it for you right here so that you can take a look at kind of what has happened in my thought processes and what has led me back to the decision to get healthy again. And I am on week 2. That's right, week 2 already. Can you guys believe it? It kind of feels like it's rolling by pretty fast, which is great when you're making any kind of change, such as changing your dietary habits, right? Yes, yes. First of all, before we get to the scale and before I let you know how my measurements were this week, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what I've noticed change-wise in my body, if anything at all. Week 2 has been a lot better for me physically. Week 1, you guys, you're coming off the sugar. You're starting to change your dietary habits. You are changing the thought processes about food, and it's kind of a challenging week. Let's be honest. Any of you who have ever started a new healthy program know week 1 is a challenge as your body is starting to detox off of that sugar and come off of the addiction to sugars. It can be a little rough. It can be a little rough, but week 2 has been so much better, so much better. By now, my body is getting used to not having near as much sugar intake. Now, I haven't gone completely sugar-free. Sugar is in so many things, you guys. Even if you go to a fast food restaurant and order French fries, you're going to get sugar on top of those French fries. It's in salad dressings, barbecue sauce, ketchup. All kinds of things contain added sugar. So to go completely sugar-free probably for me is not realistic, but I have been cutting out most sweets and desserts and that type of sugar. Now, you guys have been watching the Food Diaries over on the Health channel. If you haven't been, go ahead and click to subscribe over there. I've been showing you guys every single day what I'm eating from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. So you do know that I have had a few sweets here and there because I'm not going to cut everything out all completely. I don't think that's a realistic way to handle a new lifestyle change. We've talked about that already. Also, you guys will notice that I have still been eating things like potatoes and white rice, which are very starchy vegetables, corn, and the little sweet peas. All of those are super starchy vegetables. I have been eating bananas and apples, which are a high content of sugar in that fruit. Now, it is a natural sugar, but it is still sugar. So saying that I'm going sugar-free, no, I'm not going sugar-free. I am still having sugars, whether it's in a healthy consumption of fruits and vegetables or whether it is in a few of those sweets here and there that I throw in. How has that affected me, you guys? I feel so much better. I have so much more energy this week. I'm not getting near as tired as what I used to get by the end of the evening, and I've already started noticing changes in my skin. Now, with leaving off a lot of the sugars, I have also concentrated heavily on increasing my water intake. Still not where I want to be by adding that whole gallon every single day, but I am getting at least a half a gallon most days, most days, and some days a little over that half a gallon, which has a lot to do with how you are going to feel energy-wise too. I feel like I am sleeping better as far as getting rest, not being agitated in, you know, all the chemicals that happen when you lay down to go to sleep. Having an overabundance of sugar and all that can definitely disturb your sleep. Now, you guys know that last week I decided to add in the fungal defense. So I have also been killing off yeast. We've talked about the importance of killing off that yeast. You're not going to move weight if you don't kill off the yeast, and you're not going to have such positive results as far as more energy, better skin, better sleep, if you still have an overabundance of yeast. Yeast overload in your body, you guys, can mimic itself in a lot of different things. It can mimic itself in chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia. It can also mimic itself in low blood sugar symptoms, headaches, all that kind of stuff. Comes with having an overabundance of yeast. So, along with decreasing my sugar radically, I have also been killing off the yeast. And also, you will notice the other major change that I had in week 2 was decreasing my portion sizes. If you've been watching over on the Health Channel and watching the daily food diaries, then you know that I have drastically reduced the amount of food that I'm consuming and trying to teach myself to just stop when I'm no longer hungry, to not force the food in and to not force myself to overeat just to clean the plate. So that has been a huge, huge progressive step for me this week. And I am so happy about that. Probably more happy about that than some of the other changes that I've made. So how did all of that pan out on the scale? Let's go ahead and step on there. A moment of truth. Here we are weighing in today at 256.8. That means this week I am down 3.6 pounds, you guys. I'm so excited about that. In week 1, I only dropped 0.2 pounds. So that is 3.8 pounds overall, almost 4 pounds in 2 weeks, which is a nice, slow, steady pace. Health experts say that you should probably lose anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 pounds a week to do it the healthy way. How did it measure out around my waist? I am down to 44.25 inches today. Now, I know for some of you guys, especially if this is your first week, you're going to think, wow, that is huge. And it still is huge. But I started at 46 inches. So that means that I am down 1.75 inches around my waist. And that is super exciting. I can already tell that I am moving about more easily. I can tell, even the way my arms hang down beside my body, that there's not quite as much there. I don't know if that's going to make sense to you. If you've ever been on a weight loss journey, then you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. It's those little changes like that that I can already start to feel in my body. And yes, that is a huge boost to keep going. That's a huge boost to keep going. Now, we talked about this all the way back in week 1, that I am taking little steps each week instead of trying to do a complete 180 and change everything in my dietary habits all at once. I have kind of added in a little different thing each week. The first week was cutting down that sugar. The second week was adding in more water and controlling the portion sizes. And for week 3, I think I'm going to continue with that pattern. Not going to start counting calories quite yet. And we all know, eventually we're going to have to get at that point, right? Because we definitely have to be burning more than we're consuming. So keeping a strict count of your calories is going to help you know if you're burning off enough to actually lose weight. But I'm not quite prepared to go there yet. I think mentally, I'm just not ready to go there yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing really great at training myself to rethink about eating only when I'm hungry, which naturally is decreasing my calories. It's all about how I've done this week. I want to hear how you've done. Be sure to sound off down below. Tell us, how did you do? What steps did you take for week 2? What was your goal for week 2? And did you accomplish those goals? If you didn't, don't give up. Don't beat yourself up. Don't stop. You got to keep moving. All right? You got to keep moving. Missing it by a week doesn't mean failure. It doesn't have to derail you for the rest of your life, you guys. It's just one day or 1 week out of your life, and you can get remotivated to keep going. Let me know what your goals are for week 3. What are you going to change in week 3, if anything? Do you feel like you kind of need to keep your same goals that you had for week 2? Maybe you missed the goals in week 2, and you need to reset the same goal to hit it this week. Maybe you want to elongate those goals and hit them for 2 weeks in a row, kind of like what I'm doing. Let me know. How are you doing? Let me know. Also, feel free to join our Facebook group, DeeVine Health. Now, only join that group if you are going to be active. I have already had to remove 6 members for being inactive. If you join the Facebook group, we do ask that you are active in the group, be active on the daily post, make some encouraging posts yourself, share recipes, whatever you need to do to encourage others along. We don't want voyeurs in the group. The link for that group is going to be posted down below, and we would love to have you be a part if you want some encouragement and feel like you have some encouragement to offer others as well. All right, well, there you go. And that was week 2. Now we're jumping on into week 3. We're going to be super excited about what may happen next time. All right, thank you so much for joining me today, you guys, and we will see you soon in another video.